Hello, and welcome to another episode of Let's Play Front Mission 5, Scars of the War. As I said I would do, I've gone back and completed the third simulator mission. For some reason, you get the first mission and then the third mission, not the first, second, and then third. So that's a little bit odd, but nevertheless, it's a very easy mission, and I cleared it no problem. Got a couple levels for some of my pilots. But really the important thing here is that Walter now has the Assault Link L skill, which will allow him to engage in links with other pilots. And that is going to open up one of the most important dynamics or mechanics of this game, which is the link system. I just wanted to say a couple things about the link system. The first time the link system was introduced to the Front Mission series was in fact in Front Mission 2. Most of you will probably be familiar with it from Front Mission 4, which is where it became kind of mainstream. But there is actually a secret link skill. Well, I don't know if you would call it a secret, it's just extremely difficult to get, because you require so much, I don't know what you call it, job points or experience points or something, in order to get it in Front Mission 2. But it is possible to get it if you are very aggressive with leveling up Ash, who is the main protagonist of the game. And so, given that Ash can get Link in Front Mission 2, whereas no other characters in the game can get it, it is very, very overpowered. But, you know, at the same time, it's extremely difficult to get. So, you know, that's maybe just a just reward for all your hard work and getting an extremely hard to get skill in an extremely difficult game. Nevertheless, it really became mainstream in Front Mission 4, which, I mean, I'm sure many of you have played. It's not my favorite game, but it does have some merits, and one of them was to kind of start working out the link system. But I think it is much better realized in this game. It just seems to flow a lot nicer than it did in Front Mission 4. Actually, this isn't the last game in the series that has the link system. It's actually the Border of Madness games, which originally were released for cell phones here in Japan. And, you know, really unfortunate, but I was never able to actually get a copy of those games on my phone. By the time, so when the first time I came to Japan, the game was for sale on the phone platform, but my Japanese wasn't good enough for me to understand how to get it. And then by the time I came back and tried to get it again, it had just gone off sale, like it had just been delisted. And really, we only got the DS version of the game, which is kind of a... You know, it doesn't cover both of the games that were released, Border of Madness and then Border of Madness 2, so it's kind of disappointing, kind of unfortunate. That game, though, is, you know, it's quite interesting because it uses essentially the, I guess you call it the graphics engine of Front Mission 1, you know, that isometric sprite-based system. But at the same time, it combines it with the battle system of Front Mission 5, you know, insofar as that's possible in that engine. But it's really quite a faithful reproduction of the battle system of Front Mission 5 in the Front Mission 1 engine. So as much as that game is kind of lackluster from a storyline standpoint, and it's not really all that significant to the development of the series, and it wasn't even made by the core Front Mission team, it is quite mechanically interesting for including the Front Mission 5 battle dynamics into the Front Mission 1 graphics engine. So that's really all I wanted to say about the link system. Let's go take a look at our Vancers. So I took your guys' advice, or your advice. Should stop using that term. And I have decided not to go with vanilla Vancers for the most part. You know, I'm going to mix and match parts, do a little hodgepodge thing like you do in most Front Mission games. In the past, I've generally gone with vanilla kind of builds in this game, but I'm going to switch that up this time. So you can see that Randy now has a frost left arm, and he also has frost legs on his Vancer. The Eldos body is actually quite good, so I'm not going to swap that out for a frost body. So yeah, anyway, I mean, it's really like, with the Eldos, you're kind of trading durability for evasion, as far as that goes. But yeah, I think this is a reasonably solid build for Randy. We'll continue to sort of tinker with it as we go through this. Damon, I've just kept him all vanilla because, you know, he's a launcher type, so I could have gone with a different body, but I don't feel it's like really a priority at this point in time. I did upgrade his body though, so you can see he has a rank 4 Cheyenne body. Now, one thing to say about the rank system in this game is that when you purchase these parts at, say, rank 4 or whatever, from the store, it's going along the sort of vanilla upgrade path. There are various points in the upgrade system, or I should say various ranks, at which you can branch off using RP to switch to the non-vanilla variants of these parts. But the main point is, if you never use RP, you will only ever be able to use the vanilla variants of these parts. And so, in order to branch off of that, we're going to need to use our RP, and we're going to need to go to the survival simulator in order to get the more interesting parts in the game. Right, so as I said in the last video, the Rexon is notoriously bad throughout the entire Front Mission series, and that is certainly true in Front Mission 5 as well. If you look at the arm, its accuracy bonus is quite substantial, but the body part really has no redeeming qualities whatsoever, except for maybe looking kind of cool. So I went ahead and replaced Jamie's body with a frost body because, you know, the frost is awesome. I could have gone with an Eldos body, but I figured that I would prefer to get an evasion bonus with Jamie over getting a straight defense bonus or HP bonus, because I'm still using the Rexon arms, which are quite fragile. And if I was just tanking damage with my core, I would still lose my arms in the process. So I figured that evasion was more significant for Jamie than going with the HP and defense afforded by going with an Eldos build. You know, even though the Eldos is actually a derivative of a Vancer, which was used for sniping in Front Mission 1, as I mentioned in the Vancer Roundup. Alright, and then we've got our new pilot, Christine. I haven't done anything to her. She has got the Numskar Vancer here, and I haven't mentioned anything about the background for this. I will be doing a new Roundup shortly, and I will be talking about this one as well as the OCU striker type Vancer. I like the design of this one. It's quite cool. It's got a nice substantial look to it. Alright, so that is basically that. The only thing I wanted to do is, since we're going to a kind of desert-ish area. Oh, you can see we've got some new camo patterns. We got these cool geometric patterns. Ooh. No, I gotta do this for America. I gotta go with the USN Desert camo, because we're going to a kind of arid area. So let's go ahead and... I think I was going with this in the past, with my desert camo look. Sorry, I didn't mean to do this off camera, but, you know, we gotta do this. It increases your evasion, I swear. Yeah, we're no longer in an urban area, so we got to make ourselves look the part. Oh. Almost forgot about Christine there. Alright. Just briefly save. And we are ready to go for this mission. So yeah, this mission, as I said, is the first mission where you can use links, but it is also the first mission where there is a excellent performance bonus for completing the mission under certain conditions. And the bonus is you get 4 RP, and you need to beat the mission within 15 turns or less without losing any pilots. That isn't exceptionally difficult. This is not a terribly hard mission. But, you know, we do have to be a little bit careful, because you face off against these enemies, and then you're subsequently put up against a wave of reinforcements. So you have to make sure you use your links effectively in this mission. That is really the most important thing. So I'm going to put Damon back here, because since he's a missile guy, he can't really... he doesn't run into line of sight issues like Jamie does. Oops, that's not what I want. I need to go back. Jamie... Yeah, I think you might be able to do something. I don't have any frost legs on Jamie yet, which I will be buying, but I did run out of money, so... that is not yet a possibility. Yeah, so we do have to make sure that we're not hitting our striker with our ranged attacks. But, you know, that's just how it goes. So, to whatever extent is possible, I would like to draw the enemies out. Just stick them there. Yeah, I didn't really finish my line of thinking there, but basically I was just thinking that, you know, our movement will be improved with Jamie once he gets some frost legs, because they have a superior movement range than the Rexon legs, which are really quite bad, I believe. I have to double check that, but I don't recall them being exceptionally good. Yeah, again, these are these camera issues that I don't particularly like, where you sometimes have a hard time seeing the enemies if they are at the top of the screen, because you can't adjust the angle in such a way as to go like level to the ground. so you'll just... I don't want to waste a turn though. Alright, let's go and do this. We got 80%, that's good enough. Okay, good. So we have drawn out one of the enemies, or both of the enemies now. So what this is going to mean is that we can start getting some links in on them, and they are going to die very, very fast. Alright, here we go. So I want to put Walter in a position where he can hit as many enemies as possible. And I think Jamie's there. Actually, what I'm going to do is, it's generally a good idea to place your striker in striking range at the beginning of your links, because strikes require the least AP to execute, and that means that your strikers can get the most hits in. Potentially on the enemies, and you know, they do solid damage as well. Alright, so you can see that the press needle does more damage, but has less accuracy than the bone buster, but I'm gonna go with the press needle here. Okay. So unfortunately, yeah, the only way I could set this up was to have Walter, you know, kind of have Christine in his line of sight, which is not ideal. We'll see how this goes. Oh, that's not so bad. Could be better, could be worse. So that pincer's ability means that Walter will not get friendly fire on Christine. That's what that does for you, which can be useful as it was there. Yeah. Okay, so as you can see, the Scintilla has quite a good evasion, so I'm actually going to go with the Bone Buster when fighting it. Okay, so the first thing we want to do here is use Randy to heal Christine because she's in pretty bad shape. And now then, should we take out this striker or take out the tank first? I feel like taking out the tank is the right option because we have done significant damage to it already, and it allows us to get away from the enemies to some extent. Okay, so this is a good position for Christine, I believe. And that. This guy's finished. Yep. Yeah, I think that was the right play. This guy's just digging himself into a deeper hole. Nice level for Randy. Alright. So we're gonna take care of this guy next. And I think Randy's in good enough shape that we can just go ahead and kill this guy with him. Oh yeah. Now then, you can see that they have a gunner in their team here, and I would like to kill that gunner as soon as I can because they're quite weak. I'd rather not use Christine to fight another striker at this point in time, but I think I don't really have much of a choice. Oh, should have used aim. Oh, I really should have used aim. Yeah. I mean, it's not a total loss, but that could have gone much better. Okay, so the first order of business is obviously to heal Christine. She's in bad shape. And yes, you know, I could get friendly fire Or I did get a little bit of friendly fire in that situation, but I felt like it was worth it because the enemy was right in between us. So, you know, the pincers maneuver can be quite effective at times, even if there is a slight risk to it. As we can see there. Alright, so I'm just gonna go to town on this guy. I feel like that didn't work out for him so well. So ammo, in case you're wondering, really is, I mean, it's not a factor in this game at all. Unless you're talking about missiles and that kind of thing. But yeah, focusing on their bodies to try to kill them faster, not a bad idea. I will give him that. So I think I'm just going to heal Christine again. And this is a situation where I prefer to go up close with Walter, because the Kyojin can't really do much to me. This distance. Just maximize my accuracy, thereby maximizing my damage. Goodbye. That didn't work out. Randy's gonna need to heal himself next turn. Should be fine. Ooh. Okay, I was kind of thinking this might happen, so that's why I decided to hold off on healing Randy. Particularly because I want Damon to be able to reload this turn. You guys aren't gonna do anything? Alright. Let's maybe head over here and see if we can bait them out. course on a clock here. The fact that the enemies didn't move last turn is not the end of the world, but ooh, really wish they moved this turn. It's definitely not the best outcome there. That's more like it. Is this gonna hit? Yeah. I was worried that might happen. That's really bad. I really wish there was a indicator for the trajectory of your attack. Just so you could avoid doing that kind of thing. Like in those situations where you're not sure if the angle is just quite off or not. Our gunner's already removed, so I think we can just go ahead and move up there. A little bit worried. Whew. Oh, well, that was frightening. Let us get her healed up post-haste. Move back here and then repair so we have a clear line of sight. Walter, we're going to attack this guy. Now you can't move, but you can at least hit this walrus guy. What's our accuracy? That's good enough. So that wasn't like a complete epic fail, it was just a fail. Okay, that was good. So we have to finish by next turn. I believe that's correct. Oh no, within 15 turns. So we got 2 turns left. We should be just fine. As long as I don't screw this up. Alright, so Randy's right here. And I think he is best off doing this. Because if he had attacked here, the link would have hit him. So that would have been not great. Well, we'll see how this goes. Okay, could have been worse. Great. I feel like that guy was really the last threat we were up against. Yeah, he never had a chance. Live by the gun, die by the gun. So you can see we got that RP bonus there. We're up to 9 RP, which is nice.
単語6。
決体命令が出ている。直ちに移送の準備をしろ。
どういうことだ。
ベル地下が落ちた。データを送る。
単語6より前期至急撤退する。なんだよ突然。ここはおとりだ。早くしないと俺たちの家がなくなるぞ。家？フォートボーナスか。
作戦を説明する。進行する OCU に対し我々はモーガン要塞を要としてここフォートモーナスに絶対防衛線を築く。見ての通りフォートモーナスは USN 領の最終防衛ラインであり、万が一陥落することがあれば首都への直接攻撃が可能となってしまう。敵の対戦力投入に対し我々の取る戦略は単純明快だ。まずモーガン要塞からの高射砲により主力兵器を破壊し、同時に敵部隊を分断。地形を利用して孤立した部隊をおびき出し、市街においてこれを叩く。大規模ではあるが確固撃破作戦だ。遠征である敵に対しここは我々の本営だ。持久戦になればモーガン要塞による攻撃により敵戦力を一気に殲滅できる。また現在本国より第24艦隊がこちらへ向かっている。到着は明朝0800。我々は1日持ちこたえればいい。司令部からの作戦通達は以上だ。将軍、聞いてくれ。私の一番下の子供は今年小学校に上がる。週末は家族でキャンプに出かけ、一緒に釣りをする約束をしている。妻はあさってが誕生日だ。私は彼女にプレゼントを贈るため諸君らの年金を隠密に使用するつもりだ。ところがだ、こんな私のささやかな幸せすら壊されようとしている。今戦火にさらされようとしているのはどこだ。そうだ、ここだ。今我々がいるここなのだ。ここは我々の故郷だ。諸君らの家族や友人が暮らす我々の町だ。そこが蹂躙されようとしている。それが許せるか。ノーサー。さあクソ野郎どもが来たぞ。訓練の成果を見せろ。ありったけの弾を奴らのケツにぶち込んでやれ。
America! Fuck yeah! Alright. All fired up. So, this is the big final battle. The conclusion of this chapter of the game will be coming shortly. One important thing to note is that there was a lot of mention about Morgan Fortress. Morgan Fortress is a level you will probably remember from the OCU campaign of Front Mission 1, where you have to go up against it with Royd's team. And yeah, so basically, once again, it's kind of emphasized that Walter is not really at the heart of the action. He's, like, that battle we just fought, we were basically just, like, duped, right? The main offensive wasn't even coming through the area that we were in, which was perhaps fortunate for us. But now, we're ready to make a stand here in Fort Monus and stop the OCU. Stop those Aussies. And the other thing that was mentioned in that video was the 24th Fleet, which I believe plays an important role in the USN campaign in Front Mission 1. And it will also play quite an important role in the, in the conclusion to this chapter. Of course, the OCU offensive came as a surprise to the USN, and that's why the fleet hasn't been able to arrive quite yet, because they weren't expecting such a large offensive from the OCU. But the reinforcements from the USN fleet should be enough to halt the enemy offensive. So actually, the commander, the colonel here, Colonel Briley, he said, although it wasn't translated, that we just have to hold out for one day. It's like, yeah, so the enemy, or sorry, the fleets will be arriving at 8 a.m. tomorrow. So if we could just hold out for one day, then that will be enough to survive. So we got to make our stand. So I will be doing the base dialogues in the next video. That's pretty much it for today. That's one of the, the greatest cinematics of this game, though, I think. This little speech there. It's kind of weird. I mean, that whole thing about his, wife and daughter and taking their salaries. I mean, how's that a way to get your troops fired up? But hey, that's what it says, and it's got some epic music and some nice sound effects and stuff. So yeah, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. We are getting more into like the meat of the game, and actually getting to do things like upgrading our Vancers and using links and all that kind of thing. So it's getting more exciting, at least for me, to be able to play something more like Front Mission 5 and less like just the basic Front Mission 1 kind of combat. Yeah, I should have a new video up within the next few days, so look forward to that, and I will see you then.